All right, folks. Sorry. Oh, I still have the Chewbacca back here. Maybe I'll leave this on. This may not be that bad, right? Not a bad look. Hey, welcome everyone to Escrow Tuesdays. It is episode 15, Nari.
I know, and counting.
Yeah, we got 52 to reach. So, Tim, her, and Helen have already reached that. So we got some catching up to do. But hey, happy Thanksgiving week. My name is Charles Swanberg with Time Jew. And my co-host down below here is
Nari Wen from Tower Escrow.
That's right. And today we have a very special guest. We have the one and only Cindy Hanson. How are you, Cindy?
Good, very good. Thank you. How are you, Charlie and Nari?
Oh man, it's we're just happy that we caught you in town, right? I mean, every time we see a Facebook post, you're flying somewhere or you're at some huge mansion of some celebrities, and I'm stuck here with Chewbacca, and not a whole lot else I could do. But welcome and thank you for being our guest. And it's great to have gotten to know you over the years, Cindy. But this time we're going to really get to know you.
Oh,
so yeah.
What did I sign myself up for?
So Cindy, just give a little, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Me? Well, I was born and raised in Taiwan until I was 15. And my younger brother and myself, my mother, moved to New York for my piano education. And I studied piano since I was 4, all the way to my grad school at USC. And I'm just so happy I'm living in Southern California. So that was a great move for myself.
Really? I wish I would have stayed in my, home country until I was a teenager. I left when I was 7, and, the language would have been better. Everything would have been better. And so I totally envy you. So how did you end up in Orange County?
How did I end up in Orange County? Well, I was living in LA, and then I was dating somebody, and later I got married too. And that's how I moved down to Orange County.
Wow. Yeah, so detailed yet so vague. I kind of like this. Right, Nari? That's all right. We've got a whole 30 minutes to figure this all out. I got all kinds of questions. I love it, right?
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Yeah. So you have your musical education. That's what took you to New York, but you didn't stay in that, huh? No Broadway shows or anything like that. Just real estate.
So yes, I studied music all the way through, and when I was in New York, absolutely, or the concerts, either performing or watching. I pretty much used all my student discount, watched all the Broadway musical shows when I was there.
And those shows are not cheap.
In the back. But after 4 or 5 Broadway shows, you kind of fall asleep.
Oh my.
But tell us a little bit more about your real estate journey. I mean, why real estate?
It's actually by accident. So I was introduced to a friend, and this friend said, we never met, we still haven't met. And was saying that, I know it's weird.
So weird.
It is very weird. And when you're single, people trying to set you up, and then just never happen. Gosh, I'm talking a lot, my friend.
Yeah, you're gonna crack one of these two.
Peeling the Cindy Hanson one layer at a time.
Oh, you're blushing. I see a little pink.
It feels like summer now. So a friend of mine just recommended, hey, you should read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And at the time I said, oh, that was a very easy read. And it talks about how successful people, being an entrepreneur. So that book got me into real estate, because all the successful, wealthy people, they all have something in common, which is real estate. Right. And me being 100% Chinese, a lot of Asian people will all believe in real estate. You don't rent, you own. So I just started looking into buying rental properties. And then I joined the investment club, started buying properties outside of California. I was in my late 20s, and I couldn't afford California. So I purchased, my very first home was in Indiana. And and then just one after another started accumulating, like women buying purses. So I own a lot of rental properties. And then my CPA at the time said, you may want to consider getting a license. I said, why? Because there's certain income bracket you cannot write off stuff. I said, oh, I didn't know that. But do I have to do real estate? And they said, yeah, you can keep on reporting loss every year. I said, okay. So once I decided I want to go into real estate, that was 2007. You knew that was a great year to join, right?
Well, that was a tough time.
It was crazy. The whole year I worked so hard, open house every single weekend, taking whatever client I can take, buyers, sellers. I did nothing. I had 0 transaction.
Wow, that was tough.
Negative cash flow that year, basically.
Wow.
So,
hey, in case you're joining us, folks, this is Escrow Tuesdays live with Cindy Hanson. I'm Charles Swanberg with Nari Nguyen here. And so how'd you dig out of that 20? You just stuck with it, right? In 20 from 27.
Yeah, I'm Taurus, so I'm very stubborn.
Hey, so me too.
In a good way.
I'm barely a Taurus. I'm a 420, so I'm just like right in that cusp.
I'm in the middle of the May, so it's like, So if I want to do something, I just want to make sure I do it well. So I just continue working and educating myself because it was a big shift from musician to realtor.
Right.
And I'm very happy. I'm very happy that I made that decision, doing what I want to do and doing more I want to do.
Wow. So obviously you're in Orange County, kind of a luxury market. And well, you know, I saw some amazing stuff that you were doing. You're always in some show or you're flying across the country in some, you know, celebrities mansion, you know, kind of giving the Taiwanese, you know, Chinese flavor to it with that. So tell us about that a little bit, you know.
What would you like to know?
Well, I mean, I think you've been on some radio shows and things, and you're always sought after to be interviewed. So we're just lucky to have you here. That's what we noticed. So I got to get that Cindy Hanson lady over here in the show.
Yeah, well, I get to know you too through Aria and the band and everything else. And it's just that I'm always honored and to have friends and good friends, nice friends. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, the fire thing. Get mandatory evacuated.
Sure.
Soon I get calls from friends, from Aria, my clients, my friends, my neighbors. And it's like, I actually had options to choose.
Right. You have family. I mean, these members are really, you know, true to that. And to the next question for you is, so you're doing luxury real estate in Orange County. What's not to like? And you're in investment clubs, but how did you find Aria, or did you just stumble into an event? Give us that story.
I don't think anyone knows about this story, so you guys are first to know. So I was at a Keller Williams event, which is one of the major ones. I think that was in Austin, Texas that year.
Right.
And they usually have sections for agents, for team leaders, and also for international franchisee owners.
I see.
So that day I got into a little late. So I went inside to the international section I didn't even know. And I sat down to another Taiwanese guy who is actually considering owning a location in Philippines. And we just started talking because Taiwanese were talking.
Sure.
He told me about Aria.
Really?
He said there's a group you may want to consider, and he told me about Aria. I mean, I heard about Aria when I first started real estate. I was like, oh, that's another Asian group.
Right, there's a million of them.
So I was like, oh, another Asian group. But I'm very picky about what group I'm joining. So sometimes I don't even pay attention or just even not even go there to just, you know, participate. But this guy was telling me that you should check it out. They travel to different countries. They travel to check out real estate and relationship with the local government. So guess what? The very first trade mission I went to was 2 weeks after I met this guy.
Wow.
And that was a Taiwanese trade mission?
Yes.
A famous Taiwanese trade mission. We've heard many stories from that mission.
Well, tell me, what did you hear?
Oh, I don't know if we could discuss it here, but we've heard some things. You know, it's like,
oh no, Cindy.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take that offline. But anyway,
We'll have a special talk about trade mission. So the first one was Taiwan trade mission. That was in 2 weeks. And
oh wow, so fast.
I called Cindy Wu and then say, hey, I'm interested. I paid the money, book the flight. And it's Taiwan, it's my home country.
Sure.
So I went, and that year, not only I went to Taiwan trade mission, I think I also went to Korea. And then that's how I met Vicky Silvano.
Of course, yeah.
And then built a lot of great relationship through that trip. And it's like, this is such an amazing group. Very
Right, with all the
smart,
people that you're meeting, right?
intelligent and professional. They're from all over. I really had a good time. So Taiwan and then Korea. Later on, went to Southeast Asia and Dubai. It was last year.
Right, I remember seeing. I was buried in a deal, and I saw everyone riding camels and, soirees at a Sheik's, whatever. I mean, palace. I'm like, going, man, just missing
didn't
out.
go?
No, I'm looking at Brian. Go, dude, what the hell were we doing? Not going, So no, and they had number 2, and then you have a number 3, and
Mhm.
it just wasn't in our cards. But yeah, I mean, looking back at it, what a knucklehead.
So I started ARIA with all the trade missions, and like 2 years into ARIA, I still haven't been to any of the local, like Orange County chapter activities.
Right.
And then I just really enjoyed it. That's how I met Jim Parr and all the powerful leadership.
Yeah, the Mount Rushmore of ARIA.
Like
Alan Channing,
Chan.
Alan Okamoto,
Alan.
John Wong. That is that. But a lot of powerful women leaders too, right?
That's right.
Yeah, Vicky, you got Amy Kong right now in the slot, and you too. So speaking of leadership, and you not really going to Orange County events, well, you are now.
Well, I am.
Board of directors on Orange County. So, we always have that. Actually, this is not Kool-Aid, but there is always a point in your ARIA kind of travels and timeline where someone sits you down and says, all right, Cindy, drink the ARIA Kool-Aid. And so, going from events, even going to trade missions, which is, the best thing about ARIA is the national events and all this stuff where you meet all these people from all over the world. But now the grunt work happens at the chapter level, so you're suddenly a board member. So how did that happen? Who called you up and said, Cindy, you got to join these guys. You can't just hang out and,
Thanks to Julie Tran.
Okay.
Julie is such an amazing human being.
She is.
She's smart, she's beautiful, she's professional, she's very dedicated and also persistent. So I really don't like to be in the position or board member because I felt if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it well or 100%. It's hard to do everything at the same time.
It is.
So she was very kind and very gracious, and I like her. I like all the board members at the Orange County chapter member. Very smart, sincere, kind, personable, professional. Just good people to be around. So.
Right. And chapter of the year in 2017, when Brian Allen was leading it. So I hear there's a resurgence, Julie Tran, if you're watching, that you may be gunning for chapter of the year in 2021. That's right. So yeah, thank you so much for, signing on. It's, if you look at all the 17,000 members there, it's a small percentage that actually, contribute to the chapter level. So
yeah,
we're indebted with you.
Yeah. So
what'd you think, Nari?
Yeah. Cindy's a very interesting, very quiet person, but I can see there might be something wild, maybe with a wild escrow story.
Oh,
I don't know.
There are lots. I mean,
lots. Oh yeah.
Give us the humdinger. Give us
Well, I think one of the interesting one, there are a few of them. So I just picked one, and it was one of my past clients who moved their home to North Carolina, decided to come back. He is like uber wealthy, like ultra wealthy. He would buy this limited golf set, maybe it's $80,000. I don't remember the price for
The
it.
gold-plated Homna set or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, too.
Mhm.
Sitting in her living room. So he just wants everything the best of the best. So he says, I'm thinking about coming back Hawaii to buy a beautiful ocean view home in Newport Coast. So we finally we look at one. I also want to make sure they know their feng shui. This guy is super, super
Right.
into feng shui.
Oh.
But very different than usual crowd. Like he doesn't care number 4. 4 is actually okay for
Really?
him.
Okay.
And then number 1 is actually his no. So 14 is okay. He said, I can actually, don't worry about the number. It's all money. I can take care of it.
Well, look at the Wynn Hotel. You know, it's kind of in a section of the strip that doesn't work, so they had to. Actually, it was the Encore, right? And they had to put that water feature and all the plants around it. They had to kind of fix the feng shui on that, but it's most
that's
successful hotels in that whole chain in Las Vegas is those 2 that were built with feng shui standards. So.
Yeah, I guess.
I didn't know that.
So we look at this gorgeous home. It's so nice, very, very pretty, very, very nice. The view is great, the upgrades and everything is just so nice. The difference is with this home and other home is built on the hills. So from the entryway, you have like stairs, the steps, all the way to the kitchen and the living room. The view is just breathtaking. When you walk down, you can just see that view all the way.
Right.
So he really liked it. And I was like 13 million. I was like, okay. And they flew back to North Carolina. The listing agent is also a very nice gentleman. And he said, here is the 3D tour for you to, remember where's what.
Right.
I had a phone call from my client. Says, Cindy, can you go back to the house and help me count those stairs?
Oh.
That doesn't look good. And he says, I counted. There are 18 steps. I want you to help me go back and count it if there's 18 steps. So you think, what's wrong with 18 steps, right? Can you pick a guess?
Is it feng shui related? Numerology?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. I know 15 is a significant number in Japan, but is 18 bad?
It's 8 in there. So you thought 8 is a number, but
right.
So there's a Chinese story that there's 18 levels of hell. So what I did was, because it really depends on how you want to count the steps. You want to count from the first one, or this is the first one. So I did both. I didn't want to lure you
exactly.
way, but I just, okay, this is the way I'm going to count it. I use the camera, count the steps.
Right. Yeah. Well, if it was in Japan, it'd be so vertical. That would be only like 9 steps anyway. It's like, it's like climbing a ladder. So
that's right.
Right. You go in those small areas, right? Even in Taiwan, it's like that. Nothing is code like America. It's like, these are the stairs. Wow. But so what happened?
He said, I have to talk to my feng shui masters in Singapore. So he was talking to 2 of them.
Oh, Chewbacca, God. See what you did? Jeez, can't even sit still. Come on.
He's totally ignoring you.
I know. Yeah, once he got that Lucas contract. So
that was the one crazy one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, because of stairs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Who knew? Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so we are now going to go to.
Oh boy, we are going to
share mode here. Let's see what we've got. What you seeing, Nari?
Yeah, looking good.
Let's see.
There we go.
Who are these people again? Every week. We're gonna have to change that one.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you so much. As anything can happen in escrow, whether it was in escrow or not, but wow, the steps. That's, I mean, I've heard of the steps going straight into the entranceway being bad, but to count the steps, and you were probably going, well, what number should I give him, right? That's just there. So there is Cindy Hanson, real estate broker with a clarinet, but we know that the clarinet is not, well, that could be an oboe, right? What is that?
That's a real clarinet. It's one of my past clients become very good friends. She has this wine cellar
Mhm.
And the door handle of the wine cellar is a real
Oh,
car.
no way. So cool.
That is so
Because we're like,
cool.
was that thing on the wall or I couldn't
No, on the
figure it
door.
out.
It's really a door
That
handle.
is, hey, I like that
Wow.
idea. I'm gonna come up with
Oh yeah,
something.
that was I think it was last year or the year before the New Year party at her house,
Mhm.
and then it's actually a picture she took from her iPhone.
Wow.
Whoa.
There you
And
go.
I
How
Well,
find it too,
beautiful.
so I have to take a picture with it.
all right. Well, there is Cindy Hansen, and I believe that's a Belenka Viking. Is that correct? Seaplane. Was that the one in the video that was flying around that you were in?
Yeah.
I noticed that, and I was kind of into aviation, so I knew exactly what it was. Actually, it's a half fabric kind of like a luxury aircraft with pontoons. So that's cool. Well, Cindy, you are in Orange County, so as in Orange County, what do? We got to figure it out. So Cindy's going to go through the top 5 lists. Me and Nari will take turns counting them off. So you ready?
I don't know.
Chewbacca, you ready? You paying attention, Chewbacca?
She
All right.
looks a little nervous. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Sorry.
now
All right.
what?
No. She's got the other sections to be nervous about. This is easy. All right.
Oh no.
Number 1, Disneyland. Of course,
We
right?
have to show that. Yeah, this is like a respectful thing to say to Disney.
Mhm.
Right. But you know, it's not just Disneyland anymore, right? They've got 3, 4 sections of it. Now it's you've got the adventure park and
Yes.
all this other stuff. I hope they open it soon again, you know.
I think Disney World is open right
It
now.
is,
I'm
yeah.
filming there. It's open.
Right.
And,
Quick story is that they offered this to you know, because Walt Disney Studios was in Burbank, and they offered it to the city of Burbank first. And Burbank says, nah, we don't want the crowds.
yeah.
Of course, who's crying now, right? Anaheim's just
Mm.
killing it on it. All
Yeah.
right, Nari.
Yes. Number 2, Pelican Resort.
It's one of my favorite places.
Gorgeous.
Place you can do
Aw.
everything in there. You can dine and wine. You can play golf. You can go to the next place. So this is for families to stay if you want to stay here, visiting, and then yeah, you can do a spa there, and then guys can or women can play golf. They got one of a very nice, actually public course that you can play at. And I think I also put the next one is Fashion Island.
Yeah, well, you know, you'll take those $90,000, you know, gold-plated golf clubs out there. But I know Orange County does have, I believe, you guys have the luxury event there also.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple times. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous venue. So here we go. I mean, you got to shop, and it's really the only shopping areas where you have the boutique level type of shopping as you would do in Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. The South Coast Plaza, Fashion Island, just the Louis Vuitton that had 2-3 stores in there. So the first 3 lists you covered age from 2 to 90. You can go to Disneyland together, play golf over there, you can shop over there. And it's just like besides sunny here every day, we really do have a lot of things we can do.
That's true.
Mhm.
Well, both are amazing places. And right now, even though a lot of Southern California shut down, I would argue to say that Orange County is on its own. I mean, when I go through them, I'm like, what? I mean, I see some people wearing masks, but it's like people are just frolicking like it's nothing. And then you cross into LA County and it's like nothing. It's like a ghost town. So, and then congratulations, you guys. Obviously, you got a couple of AAPI congresswomen that got elected. So that's amazing. I think Michelle Steele and Young Kim, right? Mary?
Yes.
Your buddy who you get nails done with, I see.
Yeah.
You
So
know
Young
people.
is okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Gelato.
So after all the activities, Disneyland, playing golf, shopping, you get tired. One of the favorite place after dinner, if I have guests in town, I will always take them to this Gelato Paradiso. It's a very tiny little store in Laguna Beach. It's in the alley, like very back into the alley.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's not visible on the street, so you have to be local to know that place. Every time you go there, huge line, like long line, just to get in there. It's so delicious. Yeah.
Wow. Reminds me of Asia, where, you know, and you see a long line in a hole in the wall place. It's got to be good, right?
It's really good.
And, all right, number 5 is the beaches, of course. And Orange County has a really wide variety, right? It's a little bit of something for everyone.
Totally. And then there's a place, it's a little Corona Del Mar. That beach is so beautiful and private, very private. And I remember first when I was there, I was actually working out with some girlfriends. And then there's a hill going down to the private beach. And there is a little bench right in the middle of the hill. And I just sat there, just like watching and sitting there reading. Just very nice. Just you can meditate there if you want to. Just someplace, that little getaway. So that's my 2 places. If I go down there, I always just want to enjoy the moment.
And they're pretty wide beaches, because I know when you get up to Hermosa, Redondo, and Manhattan, they get a little, you know, the sand part is not big, but you know, and the drop off like at Huntington's not super steep like you would have at some of the beaches, right? So you got so many that you got Seal Beach, Huntington Beach, you've got you know, Newport, Seal Beach. I mean, just so many different, you know, a little bit of everything for everybody, I guess.
It is. And the funny thing that even there are all beaches all along the water, but they're so different.
And the towns that associate with it are so different, right? I mean, Seal Beach is nothing like, you know, like you said, Laguna Beach, right? You know, it's and vice versa. So, wow. Well, thank you very much. As you're in your airplane, your little float plane out there. I mean, that was.
How did you get all those pictures?
I don't know. It's public domain, you know. No, that's so cool though. But isn't your brother a pilot or something?
My cousin.
Your cousin, right.
My cousin that he just got his pilot license, and then I got a pleasure, and then I said, do I have a life insurance before I go?
Exactly. Get a big parachute. All right. Well, we have a couple of special sections, especially for Cindy Hansen. As smart and witty and kind of quiet, we're gonna feel a show. So are you ready? We have the Orange County Wall of Fame.
All right.
Let's see how good you are at this. I mean, this is easy for you. So. All right, ready? Here we go. Who dat?
Oh, my buddy Tiger.
There you go. Who is, you know, just like me, half Asian, you know. See the resemblance there. Yeah, a little bitter golfer. All right.
Lady Gaga?
Not quite. I've never seen her wear a meat jacket or a dress, but that is Gwen Stefani, you know.
Really?
So she's actually from Orange County. Okay. All right. How about this? This is a tougher one.
That's very tough.
Yeah. But she does look like someone from Orange County, right?
That's a typical look.
Right? Well, that's Terry Nunn from Berlin. She did Take My Breath Away. You know,
I love that song. Yeah,
right. Yeah. See? So there she is. Terry Nunn, obviously after her earlier band days. Here's another musician that you should know who that is.
Wow, she looks Asian with the red hair.
She is Asian with red hair. She is
Korean.
She is Hungarian, yeah. She is Korean, yeah. That is Sunny from Girls' Generation, or the Chinese version is, what is that? Cherry Sure Die or something like that. I can't remember the Chinese.
You still keep up with, wow.
I know, right?
Well, but she is from Orange County. Yeah. I actually like that band because they kind of do change up, like they sing some in Korean, some in Japanese, and some in Mandarin, right? It's kind of cool that they switch it up and throw a little English in there.
When did they come out? What year?
Oh man, it was 2000 or something. I mean, it was a while ago, right? Yeah, that might be a much younger, but yeah, Sunny from Girls' Generation is from the OC. Not from China. Yeah. All right, back to that sporting kind of thing that you were kind of involved with. That is
Michael Jordan.
Close.
He actually, I saw him at an event.
Yeah, he's a kind of a business guy. He invests a lot in real estate. Yeah. Yeah, he's Magic Johnson, Irvin Johnson Jr. So he was a Laker, and but he actually does a lot of real estate developments. Usually puts his name in there into a deal just to make it better. Here's another famous person from Orange County.
That one I really don't know.
All right, that is Will Ferrell in a wig, and he's doing the
The
cowbell
wig.
thing.
Why
But
you
that
gotta
is
make it harder?
well, that is Will Ferrell. No, that's good. It's good. All right,
Yes.
maybe you know this person.
Yes, Kevin.
Yeah, he
Last
probably
name?
lives down the street from you, right? You
I know
know.
the way you said it, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Kevin. He was probably
Hey,
your first
dude.
ex, probably. So yeah, that's probably. Sorry, I had to bring out the pain.
I'm sorry to
All right, and lastly, but not
Or?
leastly, from Orange County, who knew is
Jeez, those are the kids stuff.
yeah,
I've seen it, but I don't know.
that's Paul Frank. So he actually is from Orange County. It was everywhere, right? Yeah, I know.
He
When you
is
were a kid.
everywhere, I'm sure.
All right, so you didn't do that bad. You know, we're not
Oh.
keeping score. All right, but here comes
Just
the.
enough.
So we're gonna now pivot more towards something you're a bit more familiar with. How's
I
that?
hope
Right?
so.
Yeah, that is. All right, what do we have, Nari?
Piano fun fact.
Yay!
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
All right. All right, you ready, Cindy? I mean, you've spent a lot of time in front of a piano, right? And of course, Cindy, I just happily had recruited for the Aria band, and she gracefully said yes. And we had a lot of fun times, especially when we were rehearsing in, was it Santa Ana with Tom, you know, when he flew in?
Yes.
Oh, that was
Yes.
priceless. That was a
was
lot of
fun.
fun. But you were the glue to, especially that first rehearsal. I mean, if your reading and building, playing ability wasn't there, it would have just, we would have probably not even gone through with it. We're like, oh my God, this thing is awful, you know. But you were really the glue because you were reading the correct format, and we were just kind of, you know, barely following along. But that was a lot of fun.
You guys are amazing. I mean, all the talent within Aria just like incredible.
Yeah,
and I was a great musician, so I read and I play. It's like
right, but you know what? But it wasn't just reading. You kind of got it. You were able to improvise endings and stuff. No, I noticed everything. It wasn't just you were reading, you know, because most people you're reading like, oh, when do I stop when the sheet music stops? But no, you knew how to blend in with the drums and stuff. That's a whole different thing, right? Because when you're playing with yourself, as far as, you know, the metronome and all that stuff, you're in your zone. But when you're playing with a company instrument, I think it's a different skill. All right, here we go. Ready?
No.
When was the piano invented? This is easy. You know when 4th of July, what? I mean, I mean, give us a guess, you know, 1970, you know, maybe a little earlier.
Not 70s. You gotta be in the 1800s.
All right, let's see how close we are. 1709, only 100 years off, but that's okay.
Behind.
Yeah,
that's
100, 150. Anyway, it was invented. It was actually a harpsichord guy, right? You've heard of that.
That one.
And it's actually still there in New York City, so go figure. All right.
You guys had the small fonts right there. So how many questions?
There's only, well, it has a question and answer, so it's not that many. We're going to get through this. All right. So Cindy, how many keys on a Bosendorfer Imperial Grand Piano?
I don't know exactly, but the standard one's 88.
All right. All right. Well, this one has a few more bass notes. It's got 97. It's a monster piano. In the background, actually, is a Steinway D that has the 88 black and white keys. And there are a lot more strings to those than just one per key, as people may not know. All right. So how many moving parts are there on a piano? We know there's 88 keys, usually.
How many moving parts?
Yeah, give us a wild guess.
You ask a girl that, hey, your car engines, how many moving parts are there?
Exactly. You know, what is that little submarine light that went on? That's your check engine light. Okay. What about the muffler bearings? Okay.
When the light comes on, I call people. What do I do?
All right. Well, there are over 12,000 parts in a freaking piano. You know, so don't take it apart because you'll never be able to put it back together again. 10,000 moving, but they're all repetition, right? Because they're all based on that one key. All right. Here's a more musical kind of thing that is more your specialty. So where is exact middle C on a piano? So
if you look at the middle C, you can't find it. Usually in the center of the piano, that board has the logo. So if you look at the logo, there's a 2 black key on the left side is the middle C.
Wow. So, and that's something that most people get wrong. It is not the actual key note C, but it is the middle between the space between E and F. Wow. See? I mean, that was right on. All right. What type of instrument is a piano?
It's percussion, actually.
Is it? Okay. Well, I guess it could be considered both string and percussion, but you're right. It's striking. So it is. So in most categorized as a percussion. So see, I mean, you know this stuff.
Where did you get those questions from?
Just made it up. All right. So what are the white keys made out of in a piano? And we could even go at what are the black keys?
Well, the white keys, if you're going very a really good quality one, is the ivory. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the black keys are typically made out of ebony wood or colored. But, you know, in about, I think the 80s or so, the 70s, they stopped allowing pianos to be made with elephant ivory. So they just went to plastic.
Right.
However, you could actually still have custom made keys ordered on your brand new Steinway D or, you know, Bechstein C or whatever you want. With woolly mammoth tusks that they've unearthed like in archaeological finds. Since they are not endangered species because they've been long gone, they actually take those tusks and make ivory keys out of it. That's pretty cool, right?
I think that's nice.
Yeah. All right. And then here is something that I'm sure you know. From left to right, tell me what the names are on the pedals of the piano.
The damper one.
It's not the brake, the clutch, or the gas. Okay. What's the
what the left one? It's just the damper one. It's kind of muffled a little bit.
Yeah.
The middle one is you press it. Only the key that you press will sustain. The rest of the key will not stay.
Right.
The right one is the sustain pedal. It's just making everything you play like floating.
Right. Well, the technical names are the una corda, sostenuto, and of course the sustain pedal, but you knew that, and that's just Latin. But yeah, look at all that stuff about a piano. You know, go figure. And you spent, you know, so much time in front of it, right? I still need to take some lessons from you.
Exactly. We all do. I do too.
Well, Cindy, thank you so much for joining us. I felt we got to know you a little bit better next week. We're going to have Victoria Felix and Andy Peters here on the call. And so we're curious what you're doing for Thanksgiving. I mean, it's not a personal question, but are you going to have a Friendsgiving?
Well,
maybe?
I'm invited to, but I'm probably going to skip this time just because the COVID thing.
Yeah, I can never be too careful. Although I hear that you might be able to make some reservations at the French Laundry. You can get a table for 20. And if you slip in, you know, a Newsom's name, you can probably get, you know, a table. Just call them up and say, hey, no? Anyway, well, hey, we want to wish everyone an amazing, happy Thanksgiving. It is right around the corner, literally in a day and a half. And, you know, everyone, please be safe and, you know, and eat a lot of turkey and don't OD on tryptophan, right? Lastly, Cindy, this is a picture. It's actually our first picture together on Facebook. And I'm like, wow, I got in the same picture with the famous Cindy Hansen. And look at Dick Lee is there now. We're, you know, Secretary Treasurer now. Who would have known? But that was in Miami the last day. You could even see Jeffrey Needham back there.
Yeah, he's right in there.
Yeah, and then the Japanese realtor guy, I believe, right behind you.
Right behind me.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Anyway, that was a great time, but wow, it was, you know, totally value our friendship with Cindy over the last 3 years with the Aria Band and everything, and wish you luck with the Orange County chapter. And again, thank you so much for joining us. What did you think, Nari? Did we peel the Cindy Hansen onion back a little bit?
Maybe
might need another show. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me. You guys are amazing, fun, and I get to know you a little more. And Nari, definitely nice to meet you here.
Likewise.
Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving.
All right. We're gonna say bye to Facebook Live here. Say bye, Chewbacca. Come on.
Bye.
All right. See you guys.